You're looking for a reason to not buy a home, there's plenty out there. But what if that's your goal? What if you're looking for opportunities to be a homeowner? In any market, you're going to find obstacles and opportunities. So in today's market update, we're going to look at it through that lens. What are the opportunities in each of the markets? Because it even changes by area. Not only do markets change over time, they can change based on geography. And so we're going to look at some different areas within the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex where things are completely different, but that means that there's different opportunities, there's different obstacles, and there's more opportunities. Let's start out looking at Rockwall County. So in Rockwall County, you definitely have some obstacles. You've got median price that is $457,000, an increase in 8.8% since this time last year. You've also got a market share, so a good chunk of properties that are in that $500,000 to just under $750,000 price range. So where are the opportunities? Active listings. What that means is if you're looking to buy right now, you've got more selection, you've got more options, and you've also got an increasing months of inventory. And so going from 5.6 last April to 6 months of inventory is really kind of a neutral market, meaning neither the buyers or the sellers have a real advantage. All right, now let's move on to Kaufman County. So in Kaufman County, things are a lot different, right? You've got a much more affordable median price, so that's where your opportunity's at. Your market share, you've got over 37% that's in that $200,000 to just under $300,000 price range. Now, some of the obstacles would be that you've got active listings that have decreased almost 11%, and so there's not as much to select from. You've also got a months of inventory that's actually decreasing. And so that means there's just more advantage will end up going to the seller. Now let's look at Hunt County, and you've got a lot of opportunity here. You got a very low median price and decreasing compared to this time last April. You've got almost 43% that's in the $200,000 to just under $300,000 price range. You've got days on market that have increased almost 25 days, meaning if you're looking, you've got more time, and you've got the 6.5 months of inventory leading into a buyer's market. Now, what are the obstacles here? Well, Hunt County's a little bit further away from the Metroplex, and so that could be great if that's what you're looking for, your job allows for it, but if you work in downtown Dallas, it might end up being a little further than you want to drive. All right, so now let's look at Collin County, and this is going to look familiar because it shows a little bit of resemblance to Rockwall County. But where are the opportunities? Where are the obstacles? Most obvious obstacles are in this median price of almost $464,000, even though it is dropping a little bit compared to this time last year, and this market share of $500,000 to just under $750,000. So where is the opportunity? The opportunity is in the active listings. And so it's up 7.9%. And that's meaning, like we said earlier, that you've got a little bit more selection if you're in the hunt. Months of inventory is relatively flat, so not really a benefit one way or the other, benefit or obstacle. It's on the lower end, so if anything, we might consider that an obstacle instead of an opportunity. However, you are getting a little bit more time if you're looking in Collin County than you have in previous years. So 12 more days, days on market compared to this time last year. Now let's look at Dallas County. In Dallas County, we've got our median price well under $400,000 and decreasing, and a market share with quite a few properties over 25% in that $200,000 to just under $300,000 price range. Now, the obstacles are that the days on market are still relatively short, even though they're increasing 5 days more than this time last year, It's still a short amount of time, under 90 days. And so if you find something you like, you might have to jump on it pretty quick. And active listings are down just slightly, really maybe even consider flat. So you might not have as much to choose from as you would in other markets. Now I'll just show you quickly the Metroplex as a whole, median price, market share, active listings, closed sales, months of inventory, and days on market. And then look at Texas as a whole. You can see median price is relatively flat. Market share, a good amount in that 200 to just under $300,000 price range. Active listings actually up across the state. Closed sales up a good chunk. And months of inventory just slightly higher at 5.2 compared to 5.1 in April 2025. So what I really want you to do is walk away with the idea that regardless of the market you're in and regardless of where you're looking, even so your geography, there are opportunities to be taken advantage of if your goal is to be a homeowner. If that's a path you're on, check out our video series on the home buying timeline.